coming year.
Okay. Short term.
Short term.
Well, first is major transition in district leadership. Will be a major change for the Guilford-Gilmanton community. Certainly, it is not something that is taken lightly, and is something that is taking a tremendous amount of energy with a tremendous amount of angst and anticipation from all involved as to what will be the impact of this leadership change. You've been fortunate to have excellent leadership in this community, and I think it's pretty well to say tonight that that will be able to continue, given your choices and what's available to you this evening. So that is a major impact on this community. There are, I know, major issues that are being debated in the community as to how the schools will be administered and what leadership models will be put into play. That, because this is New Hampshire, is a community decision, and it is something that this community will wrestle with. I understand, look forward to participating in that discussion and coming out with the next generation of leadership for the Guilford schools.
Thank you, Ken. Tom?
I think the biggest challenge, and it's not only in Guilford, but it's in districts around the country, is funding. Funding is going to be a major issue for everyone. How do we maintain the programs, the staffing, class size, all those things that we value going into the future as the dollars from the federal government, from the state continue to dwindle. And I think it's incumbent upon the board, the administration, to come up with solutions to that problem, whether it be looking for alternate revenue sources, partnerships, business partnerships, whatever you can do to try to raise your revenue. I would also say that another challenge would be in the area of accountability with NCLD, ensuring that our children are performing and meeting AYP each year as we continue to progress towards 100% proficiency in 2014. I think it's critical as more and more schools have difficulty reaching that next target, that next benchmark, that we continue to look for ways to intervene early on with students so that they can be successful. Those are the students that are not making proficiency, and we have to do everything we can to address their needs. I would also say that in the math area, that's an area that I would look at that we need to continue to improve there, to look at more problem solving strategies to bring in those higher order thinking skills, and not ignoring the computation, the mechanics of math, because there are also areas that are tested by the state and are standardized tests. So I see those as challenges that we're facing and things that we need to address as a school district.
Thank you. Jack?
I think that there are three. I think that this is an extraordinarily exciting time in the public schools, because I think just prior to me arriving and since I've arrived, a major focus on 3 or 4 substantive initiatives within the school that I think all vested parties and stakeholders are invested in, including in that is professional learning communities, the fact that we are an inclusive school community, that we believe in the reciprocity of inclusion and the power that that has within the community, that there are funding challenges that go with that, the competency-based curriculum model at the high school, and the convergence of all of these ideologies from the student's perspective to make sure that there's a continuum that fits, starting with full-day kindergarten right through the 12th grade. So I think that those initiatives that we've embraced and that we're moving forward are going to need a concerted effort. I agree with Tom in that we have NCIB coming to conclusion, but the exact same point in time, and I think that this is an important part of anyone who chooses to lead a system, is not only to look at the conclusion of this major legislative impetus, but the fact that there are already trends and that there are already comments and philosophy changes occurring within the nation about what's the next curriculum going to be? Are we going to have a national curriculum? Are the assessment tools going to change? And if any or all of those begin to occur, how then do we take who we are and sort of lay that in and fit that into that process? On the third point, I think I disagree a little bit, because I think I would state it differently. As far as I'm concerned, my experience here, in the short experience here in the Lakes region, and what I've seen as a debate unfold this year in Guilford is, there is no question as to how this community wants to move forward as far as the administrative model in the Guilford Public Schools. I think that it will move forward with a superintendent, and I think that all of the significant parties are willing to defend that issue. But as that occurs, I do agree that with the change of the principal, change of the superintendent, and especially if it's me, the change of the principal, there is a ripple effect here as far as administration and how it's going to change. I think it's really key that as that change occurs, not only do we want to look at the potential of a superintendent's candidate who is familiar, and not simply familiar from a theoretical or a reading perspective, but from a real pragmatic perspective of what a competency-based high school is, what professional learning communities are, what an inclusive school is. But that as we now begin to start the transitions of other leaders, we have to look for who are those would-be leaders out there, and how do we go and find them